course not.
Come on, Lily. Who are you gonna believe, that lip-lock liar or your best friend?
Welcome back, Disney Channel fans. Today we're taking a nostalgic deep dive into one of my favorite shows, Hannah Montana. From fresh character dynamic to a shifting tone, new storylines, and behind-the-scenes transformations, Hannah Montana was a show that evolved with its audience, shaping the future of teen television, especially as we make our way to the second season. So we did the season 1 in 2006 when Hannah Montana first broke into the scene, and Disney Channel also had some success with That's So Raven, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but Hannah Montana took things to like a new level. The show, which starred Miley Cyrus as Hannah Montana and Miley Stewart, who was a regular teenager living a secret double life, quickly captured the imagination of young audiences. And the concept was fresh and fun, but let's face it, who didn't dream of having a secret double life as a famous pop star? So the first season was an instant hit, especially with characters like Lily, Oliver, Billy Ray, and then we start to see them a lot more as the merchandise flew off the shelves, and soon enough, Miley Cyrus was a global sensation. As the Hannah Montana grew in popularity, so did the pressure to keep the show fresh. So season 2 rolling around in 2007, things were changing both in front and behind the camera. The transition between season 1 and 2 brought noticeable shifts in the show's tones and storylines. While season 1 leaned into the more comedic misunderstandings and lighthearted adventures, I think season 2 began to introduce more emotionally complex stakes. Miley's relationships, particularly with Jake Ryan, which will become a focal point as we start to go into the 2-part episode later, it set the stage for more dramatic storylines that resonated with older audiences that were also growing up alongside Miley Stewart, especially those entering high schools. Another key difference was the introduction of the more music-centric episodes. While music had always been a part of the show, season 2 saw more original music integrated into the storylines. Like the episodes I Want You to Want Me, To Go to Florida, and Song Sung Bad, we saw performances that blurred the lines between Hannah Montana and Miley, especially with the Hannah Montana 2 album coming out, which was such a exciting staple to introduce Miley to the world just as much as Hannah Montana. The show was no longer just a secret identity. It was about trying to manage relationships, responsibilities, and the price of fame. So Miley Cyrus was undergoing significant changes. By the end of season 1, it was clear she wasn't just a Disney star. She was on the verge of being a full-fledged musician, and the show's producers began to craft storylines that would cater to Miley's growing fan base, not just as a character, but like as a real-life sensation. The music became a crucial element to the show's marketing, too, with the concerts beginning to draw a massive crowd. They had the Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus Best of Both Worlds tour in late 2007, which actually solidified music outside of the show being real. The synergy between the fictional character and Miley's real-life career was like such a big deal. The success also brought new challenges, though. Her intense workload began to draw so much attention, and this young star had to balance a hit show, a music career, and a growing public image. So Disney, we all know that it got even more complicated as we go to season 3 and 4. Disney was careful to ensure Miley's personal brand aligned with the wholesome image of Hannah Montana thus far. The transition from season 1 to 2 didn't just impact the show, it reflected a broader audience evolution happening at Disney Channel. Around the same time, the network was capitalizing on its success of teen-targeted content, but the competition was starting to heat up, like Jonas Brothers emerging into pop culture powerhouses, High School Musical taking the world by storm, and then also High School Musical 2 alongside Hannah Montana Season 2 in 2007, and that also broke records with over 17 million viewers. This marked a significant shift in Disney Channel's focus, and music became a bigger part of the strategy. Hannah Montana was at the center of this charge, merging narrative television with music-driven content before shows like Camp Rock and Jonas would eventually hit the airwaves. And at the same time, Disney Channel was refining its star-making machine. Like, Miley Cyrus wasn't just a character on a hit show. She was the face of a multimedia empire complete with concerts, soundtracks, and merchandise. And then this would eventually happen to Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez, which you could hear more about in the other videos about Disney Channel. And by the time season 2 premiered, Hannah Montana, just a fun Disney Channel show. The viewership numbers skyrocketed by the second season of Hannah Montana on Disney Channel. It pulled in over 7 million viewers at the premiere, which is a staggering number for cable TV in general. The fandom was stronger than ever, and the world was captivated by Miley's double life. And the transition from 1 to 2 also marked the beginning of Miley Cyrus's evolution. The show would continue to grow its audience, and the second season paved the way for more personal, emotional storylines digging deeper into the character development, and of course, the more iconic music moments. It was a time of change for Hannah Montana and Disney Channel, and it set the stage for the show's continued success and eventual conclusion, but, you know, we're not there yet. So let's start diving into Season 2 of Hannah Montana.
See what you can do about that. Bukarkovsky entrapment. Clever, Rico.
Okay, so let's start off Season 2. So we got Season 2, Episode 1, Me and Rico Down by the Schoolyard, which is a play on the word Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard, the Paul Simon song. Miley urges everybody at her concert to get excited for the beginning of the school year, and herself reluctantly does not want to get up on her first day of high school.
Get the water bucket.
You wouldn't.
Oh, yes, he would. So she's starting to attend Seaview High School, saying goodbye to the middle school, and Lily discovers that Miley brought her teddy bear, causing her to overreact, asking Miley what this would do to her reputation. So we understand that reputation is really important to these girls.
Seen it. Now would you zip him back up, please? Fine. Not of the way. She's afraid of the dark.
And she receives an anonymous text on her cell phone that says somebody knows her secret and has a picture to prove it, with no context at all. See, this is interesting, especially in the early technology days when people didn't really know how to research each other or figure out who was a catfish. This is a very early catfish episode. Miley and Lily are instantly worried and believe that Oliver's behind this, but when they find him, he realizes he didn't do it either, and he gets a mysterious message from the person again. Lily narrows it down to anybody texting Miley and looks around to see that everybody is texting, which is so accurate to this time.
That narrows it down to everybody.
They definitely think that it's about the Hannah Montana secret and that this person knows that she's Hannah Montana and will tell the whole school. Miley finds out that it was Rico who sent the message as he becomes the new student in her class. Yeah, Rico's back this season and he's not just on the beach.
Hiya, Toots. Got my messages?
Message to all freshman boys, do not use the term toots when describing a female counterpart. Which this guy is really confident. In exchange for not exposing her quote-unquote secret, he asks her to pretend to be his girlfriend, where she is basically humiliated all day.
A new penny in the piggy bank of my heart. What can I say? She's crazy in love. Cheese me.
Lily and Oliver try to get Rico's cell phone while Miley pretends to be Rico's girlfriend, and they find out that his locker is guarded by a monkey. So Oliver starts fighting this monkey to try to get to his cell phone. Miley ends up saying that Rico's gonna hold the secret over her forever, and that if he wants to send the picture, she'd let him because it's nothing worse than dating him, which is, whoa.
Sure, they'll know my secret, but they'll also know what a pathetic loser you are.
Dang, Rico. Rico picks up the phone and says he was always the smallest in his class and nobody ever liked him, so he just wanted to be liked. So Miley feels sorry for him, ends up kissing him on the cheek, but he turns his head and actually makes her kiss him on the lips, which is, oh my god, Rico, you're not allowed to do that. Not nice. He screams, he shoots, he scores, and Miley gives him a mad look, saying he's toast, and she chases him away. Oliver then looks at the picture and realized that it wasn't about her being Hannah Montana. It was that he had a picture of Miley with her teddy bear on the first day of school. In the subplot, Jackson finally makes a friend, which isn't that guy Cooper from the first season, but this new country guy from Minnesota, Thor, who's a little too friendly and won't leave Jackson alone. And Thor just continues to embarrass Jackson in chemistry class, and
you two should sit together, and I'll sit any place else.
But I have marshmallows.
Jackson tells Robbie about this, and Robbie reminds him that he was once the country bumpkin that went to high school at Seaview, thus prompting Jackson to give him a second chance. And then as he's going back to his friend group, he notices that people start to make fun of him for the same reason, and he decides to stand up for him and choose Thor over his old friends. He said that Thor was just trying to make friends. I like that they weaved Jackson and Rico into the main plots a lot more by having them attend the same high school. I'm sure it was inevitable, but it was definitely perfect for the story to have them be more involved in the central plot. Or at least be, around each other in the same locations. In order to establish Miley and her friend's entry to high school, the Disney Channel premiered this episode along with 4 others in that week, calling it the Hannah Montana's Freshman High Five, and it still placed the number 12 in the United States for 3.52 million viewers. During the credits, Oliver goes up to Rico's locker where the monkey is selling snow cones to the cast, to everybody in the school, which is kind of funny. During gym class with Mrs. McDermott, Miley is tired of being picked last every time for teams and being nicknamed Stinky, which, relatable. The other captain, Lily's rival since 2nd grade, Joni Palumbo, starts to boast about how she's better than Lily and can't be beaten.
That, winning captain gets to give losing captain a little haircut.
When Lily's selected as one of the captains for flag football, Miley thinks that she's finally going to be picked first.
Wow, isn't it funny how it always comes down to the two of us?
When the teams are picked, Miley's left for last. In return, Miley shuns Lily after a concert, and the two girls refuse to talk to each other.
Love the little backstabbing quip. So funny. That wasn't about me, was it?
Of course not. I know I can always count on.
And in the subplot, Robbie Ray gives Jackson the silent treatment until he's done with his chores.
Come on, Dad, I apologize. You want me to mean it too? Yes.
So the Jackson subplots were mundane at best, with a couple of really funny jokes, but I am not lying when I tell you this is the most disgusting plot in all of Disney Channel. Jackson is so disgusting that the entire sink is overcrowded, and there are so many gross things that happen in this. Miley later learns that she has won a country music award, a booty, for the song True Friend, which is a disgusting name for an award. And without her best friend to tell, she goes to Oliver.
I have amazing news.
So do I. My mom made a detective and gave me her old handcuffs.
Miley and Oliver run over to Lily at the beach, and the girls fight over which person Oliver will be friends with.
You know, big, huge, nasty guy sharks.
Are you wearing a clear polish?
It's called Buff. Like me. Let's go.
So Oliver handcuffs the girls until they're friends again. When Miley argues that she has a live speech that night to accept her award, Oliver relents but cannot find the key to unlock the girls.
But if it weren't for your stupid booty, it totally would have worked.
Tell me you didn't lose the
I
key.
didn't lose the key.
Oliver.
Okay, I lost it.
Miley and Lily then get ready for a speech when Oliver goes to his mother's to find a spare key. So before the speech, Oliver is able to unlock the girls, but the key breaks.
Except the key breaking.
I hate when he says, uh-oh.
So during her speech, Miley needs to use Lily's arms while Lily crouches behind the chair. And during the speech, the two girls realize the meaning of friendship and make up after the award. This one is so funny with Oliver because we really get a better sense of his personality, the fact that he kind of acts without thinking. And there's a lot of empathy there, he really cares about his friends. When it needs to happen, he's pretty there for them. So this one's called You Are So Suable to Me. The title is a reference to the song by Joe Cocker, You Are So Beautiful to Me. So Miley gets annoyed with Lily's constant tomboy behavior and decides to get Lily a more 9th grade girl look with just a few small changes.
Oh, no dates? Well, don't feel bad. There'll be more dances. Unless global warming kills us first. Bye!
Lily's crush, Matt, played by Bubba Lewis, asks her out to the dance on Friday, which Miley can't attend because she's having a concert.
Come here often?
Of course he does. It's cool.
Sorry, Jonas.
And Lily sees Amber and Ashley flirting with Matt later and realizes she needs to compete with them. Miley turns her from a skate chick to a date chick, which has to be a little misogynistic, dressing and acting in an exaggeratedly feminine manner.
I got it.
Which everybody except Matt likes. The night of the dance, Lily is heartbroken because Matt stands her up, and she spends the night at Miley's house, and the next morning she is completely miserable.
It was our pleasure, Lily.
Lily, that's what Matt called me. Dad.
That's her name.
Think a little.
Miley takes Lily and Matt to teen court, in which people who have dumped them are found guilty. When Matt and Lily, who has Miley as her lawyer, enter teen court, which, by the way, Miley being a lawyer is one of the funniest personas she takes on in the entire show. I mean, look at this speech.
What if Abraham Lincoln promised to save the Union, but broke that promise because he wanted to buy a new hat? I know what you're thinking. How does she do it without any notes?
Things likely go their way until Matt gives his defense. Matt explains he stood Lily up because Lily changed. He liked the old Lily, not the girly girl that Miley convinced her to become, and the two make up. In the end, Miley is found guilty for interfering with the relationship, and despite her refusal to believe it's her fault, she gets spaghetti and meat dumped on her.
Ooh, that is some spanky justice. Case closed.
The growing dependency of Miley and Lily's relationship is so complex in this season. Like, we're at 2 back-to-back episodes that involve them being a little bit toxic and or resolving to each other, but I love how complex their relationship is. It just shows, like, how you could come into a lot of disagreements and change for one another, even, like, friends, not as much as relationships. And I don't know, it's just a really cool representation of friendships like that. Meanwhile, Jackson has won 2 courtside seats to the Lakers game, and he invites Thor, but accidentally invites Robbie also.
Who cares if your boy got into Harvard? My boy's taking me to a Laker game. Yep, courtside seats.
Eventually, Jackson gets stuck in the middle and can't decide between Thor or Robbie. So Jackson purposely tries to smell bad and come across as disgusting, so that way Robbie wouldn't want to go anymore.
What? It's like fate. Him just showing up here like I invited him, which, of course, I didn't.
So he trades his 2 courtside seats in for 3 next to the speaker at the back seats.
Dad, save the popcorn!
This episode's very similar to the iCarly episode I Make Sam Girlier, and this is Amber and Ashley's first appearance in this season. This next episode really bothered me for the longest time just because of the study song they sing in it. I just remember it coming on my TV and it's kind of traumatic. Episode 4 of season 2 is called Get Down, Study-udy-udy. This is a parody of the song Boogie Oogie Oogie from A Taste of Honey.
How would you handle this, Miley?
Well, as much as it pains me, I'd have to say, no grades, no Europe. Then again, what do I know? I'm just a kid.
Miley is expected to go on her European tour as Hannah Montana until her biology grade slips and her father threatens to cancel the tour. That's crazy. You cancel a probably $1 million tour just because somebody got a bad grade?
Done. Here you go, Teach. Sorry I took so long. I just wanted to double check my answers.
To go on the tour, she has to get a good grade on her midterm, so she asks Rico to tutor her. In return, he has her dress up in an elaborate 18th century costume to hold up a globe so he could paint a picture of it.
What's this? An A+.
What was I here for?
I needed someone to hold the globe.
He tells her that his secret to success is his photographic memory, which doesn't help Miley. Able to remember through song and dance routines like Hannah Montana, she creates a song and dance routine based on Nobody's Perfect about the bones in the human body, which she needs to memorize.
No talking. Oaken?
Yes, ma'am.
I said no talking.
So while taking the test, she finds out that she needs to go through the dance motions in order to remember it, but Miss Kunkel notices this and makes her stop, thinking she's sending signals over to cheat, which is, I would just assume that this person is having a seizure in the middle of my class. I wouldn't give her the negative benefit of the doubt. Later, with time running out, Oliver attempts to divert the teacher's attention by stimulating a nosebleed so that Miley can move through the dance motions, but
Sure, that's what it is. Look, everyone.
the teacher notices Miley anyway and sends her to the principal's. Miley then saves herself by performing the full song and dance routine in the class called the Bone Dance. And everybody joins in, and the teacher's so impressed she gives Miley an A.
Aunt Stewart, I'm going to get the principal.
What? I want you to show him that dance. It's the best study technique I've ever seen.
Why is the teacher impressed with the dance after the fact that they moved all the desks, made room, and then everybody learned the choreography? There shouldn't have been any anticipation that Miley was in trouble when really everybody seemed to like the dance. I don't know why there would be a risk here. Look at this, like the entire classroom is made to be a stage. You're telling me that you're not committed to it already? The subplot involves Jackson keeping Thor's parrot, and Jackson is tutoring a girl he's interested in Spanish.
Maggie with the bad breath.
Why is he saying that?
The bird begins repeating insults it heard Thor say that involves this girl's name, so it keeps repeating it as Jackson is about to kiss her. Back at the school, the bird continues to cause trouble for Jackson.
You stupid bird brain.
Morning, Stewart.
Stupid bird brain.
Detention, Stewart.
It wasn't even me. It was...
Jackson tells it to drop dead, and it does. The horrified Jackson attempts to revive it, and Thor arrives, so Jackson tries to hide the bird, but is soon forced to reveal what happened. When Thor takes the bird, it's revealed that it was only playing dead. I just love how... I like how this season really focuses on Jackson's attempt to make a friend, and it seems like through Thor, he's really forced to look at himself and be less of a jerk than he was in the first season. Like, the first season, Jackson was kind of rude, and this Jackson seems to be, like, letting more room in for love, I guess. Next is I Am Hannah, Hear Me Croak. The title is a reference to the song I Am Woman by Helen Reddy, including the lyric I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. It's a commentary on it. Hannah has too many encores at one concert, so her voice is strained and she wakes up the next day and her voice is gone. Robbie Ray suggests that she doesn't talk for a week and uses a whiteboard to write out what she wants to say.
Wow, a week without talking. You know, that's gotta be tough for a girl. Now, guys, we're different. I don't need to talk. I could not talk for a month, wouldn't bother me at all. But girls, talk. Hey, Sally, nice caprice. Oh, I love your purse. Oh, no, that's just rude.
I'm pretty sure this trope was copied into all high school theater. It's a tradition that during Tech Week you try to save your voice for the performance, so you use a whiteboard or you use another way of communicating while you're on vocal rest. And I really don't know if Hannah Montana took it from high school theater or vice versa, but I wouldn't be surprised if high school theater just copied that.
All right, we could go to the movies or something? I got this one for you. In your dreams, a Poindexter. We're playing hard to get.
So during that week, Lily and Oliver accidentally try to help Miley, but unintentionally embarrass her instead. It's really funny watching them do all these things. Like, these moments are really funny. After a week, her voice is better and she's able to sing at our concert. She sings fine until one point in her song, Life's What You Make It, she starts singing badly, and it's decided that Miley really needs to see a doctor. So Principal Franklin from iCarly goes to college again and gets a PhD for some reason. The doctor explains that Miley needs to preserve her singing career as Hannah Montana. In order to do that, she needs to undergo a small surgery for it. The doctor and Robbie both try to assure Robbie that she's in good hands, and the doctor performing the surgery is one of the best doctors in the country, and that nothing is going to go wrong, but Miley still worries. While she's sleeping that night, she has a nightmare that her voice doesn't get better, and her singing career's gone, and then nobody cares about her anymore.
Thought I told you to iron these socks. You know how I like a nice crease in my hosiery.
Sorry, Daddy, I'm still cleaning the oven.
Is reduced to the position of a poorly treated servant girl, table, and coat rack, while Jackson becomes a rock star called Bucky Kentucky and receives all of Lily and Oliver's attention, which is so funny. And we finally get a glimpse of Miley and Jackson's late mother, played by Brooke Shields, who then appears in the dream and tells her that her friends will be there for her no matter what, since they were friends with her before she was Hannah Montana. Her friends and brother come back into the dream and reassure her as well, with Jackson reminding her that he's a terrible singer and overall isn't as musically talented as she is. Bobby comes back into the dream as well, and Miley's talking to Jackson and the others when Mrs. Stewart, mad at her husband during the dream. Robbie had given some hot chocolate to her right before bed, and his wife bothers him for it. In the end, Miley has a surgery done, and her career of Hannah Montana is ultimately saved. But this is a really cool episode to actually address fear that goes in with, like, having surgery or, like, being taken away from something you quote-unquote love. But really, it's about, like, putting yourself above your work and your passion in times of crisis. Like, Miley, like, struggles to find her identity outside of Hannah Montana, and it's really cool that we kind of go backwards in Miley's progression to kind of get a glimpse into her deeper insecurities. Like, this episode really shows how complex Miley is and the double life's effects on her psychology. And I'm just so happy this episode exists because it's really interesting. although it does bring up a question that is about 30 episodes too late, which is, how does she do these concerts? Like, usually if you're a singer, you go on tour and then you do multiple concerts, but Miley for some reason is able to get away with staying in her hometown, having an occasional concert when she's not really releasing any new music, and I guess we're all just supposed to assume that that all the fans are within her area? If I were in the Hannah Montana fan base, I would feel really ripped off. Like, just imagine, like, in only the same venue, too. Well, I mean, I guess there's some different venues, but some of the venues are the same. That's enough to peeve me. So in You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party, the 6th episode of Hannah Montana, this title is an obvious reference to the Beastie Boys song, You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party. Miley and Jackson have to fight over water usage in the bathroom, and they break the plumbing in both of them. Robbie calls for a repairman, but he's only there to fix Miley's bathroom, saying that Jackson's will be fixed in a few weeks. Robbie has Miley and Jackson share the bathroom until it's fixed. During this time, they fight over the space, and Jackson uses Miley's bras to hold his toiletries and picking his nose hairs with tweezers. This is how I imagine having a sister would be, even though I've never had one. I just can imagine fighting over things like this. During this time, Miley almost wipes her face with Jackson's underwear, and Miley spits toothpaste on Jackson's neck. This episode actually gets kind of gross. I mean, while realistic, it's still, like, not fun to watch.
Oops.
Robbie becomes frustrated and calls a family meeting and wants to hear each of them see things from the other's perspective. And in the exercise, they take each other's roles, and they use this to mock each other, of course.
Except for me, because I'm perfect!
Your turn.
Robbie's next attempt involves having the two dress up in large, heavy padded suits and hit each other with sticks in order to work out their anger. And this surprisingly doesn't work, and Robbie decides to ground them. Oh, he prevents Miley from going to Beyonce's party as Hannah, and Jackson from going on a date to watch Panic at the Disco. The two of them get Lily and Oliver to stay in their rooms for the night and trick Robbie while Jackson drives Miley to her party and his date in Thor's truck. Lily and Oliver stay in Miley's room the whole night, but Oliver gets hungry and decides to sneak down and take hot dogs. But then when Lily comes down from Miley's room and asks Robbie for an autograph for her uncle, Oliver makes them both hot dogs. I mean, it's just so funny. Hannah's friends are a lot more dumb than most other teen sitcoms. Maybe because Miley is so intense that, like, only dumb people could follow that, I guess. I don't know. It's just funny watching them sneak around in such outlandish ways. Like, this is clearly not possible to get away with. Meanwhile, Jackson nearly hits a deer on the road, causing him to swerve and dense fog onto the edge of the cliff. The truck hangs on the edge and shifts the weight, causing it to tip dramatically. So Miley and Jackson are stuck and worried about who's going to get out of the truck first, which is kind of a dark plot. So they're basically deciding which one of them deserves to die and doesn't, which is a pretty big jump from the bathroom situation.
Don't worry, the weight of your big head will keep us balanced.
Jackson comes to help her and tries to pull her out after getting out himself, but nearly falls over, and this stressful scenario, they both end up forgiving each other and agree to stop fighting, even though they realize the cliff is 2 feet off the ground. Later, all four of the kids are punished, and they have to clean random objects for Robbie. So the next episode we have is My Best Friend's Boyfriend. So Lily is dating a boy named Lucas, and at first Miley couldn't be happier for her, but she does eventually feel like a third wheel and gets sick of the two of them being together all the time. Like that normal middle school relationship you have in 7th grade.
I made you a mix CD to celebrate the 9 days we spent together.
It's right there. Next to the pepper.
The soundtrack of our love.
Yeah, those were the times. But they're in 9th grade, so this is kind of more inappropriate. After telling Lily of her displeasure, Lily decides to have a sleepover with Miley, but Lucas is invited as well. So Lily makes up for it by...
That's a cute outfit, but it looks like you're about to go out with Lucas.
setting Miley up with Lucas's good-looking cousin Derek Hansen, who looks surprisingly similar to Elvis Presley. Miley is at first excited, but while they're all watching a horror movie, Derek gets freaked out super easily, much to Miley's annoyance. He even eventually jumps onto her lap, and Miley calls it the worst date of her life.
It's in there. Something's in there. There's something in there. Ah! I knew it! I knew it! Ah!
You didn't know we were having a party?
Next day, Miley sees Lucas kissing another girl, which is really crazy because it's like, why would you cheat on somebody in public at the same high school that you're also going to your current girlfriend? I just don't understand the logic there. Miley tries to prove to Lily that her new boyfriend is a cheater. Lily doesn't believe it, thinking that Miley is just jealous. Miley tries to prove to Lily that her new boyfriend is cheating on her and flirts with Lucas so he'll cheat on Lily with her.
Shh, no. Don't speak. Just kiss me. No, I'll kiss you.
Oh, okay, well.
When that doesn't work, she dresses up as Hannah Montana and attends a restaurant with Lily as Lola. And Lucas and Oliver happen to go to the same restaurant, and Hannah flirts with Lucas from across the room. This guy is so bad at cheating because also he's just willing to go out with somebody he knows is Lily's best friend and be kind of a snake in the middle of the date. Like, I don't understand. This guy is not being subtle at all to his cheating.
I got 2 words for you, my brother. Guy code. We are men and we are hunters. And what happens in the jungle? It stays in the jungle.
And it's kind of funny because it's like in character for Lily not to be aware of it that much. She tends to be a little airheaded. Lola still believes that he won't cheat until Lucas gets up and tries to give Hannah Montana his number.
To tell her you have a girlfriend, because, you look like the kind of guy who has a girlfriend he really, really likes.
Actually, I've got 2.
Lucas still doesn't realize that the girl he's talking to is the girl he's been kissing, just with a wig on, and admits to her that he is give up Lily in an instant. Meanwhile, these fans try to get a picture with Hannah Montana, which gets in the way of Miley's thing, but it's not that big of a deal, so it's just kind of happens on the side. Realizing her best friend was telling the truth, Lola gets mad and dumps shrimp sauce on Lucas. At the end, Miley and Lily decide to make up, and next time that either of them has a boyfriend, they should trust each other no matter what. And the controlling grandmother comes over once again, mistaking Oliver for...
My goodness, it's Natalie Portman. Lana.
In the subplot, Rico believes a store, Rico's, has been robbed and installs an expensive security system that confuses Jackson constantly. It even actually traps him various times in really concerning ways. Like, I don't know how Rico has access to this scientifically complex security system. I swear that, I don't even think the White House has this much protection. When Jackson finally decides to quit because Rico asks him to sign a liability waiver, he and Rico realize that their robber was actually just a raccoon, and Rico was taking it all too far. The title is a parody of Johnny Paycheck's song, Take This Job and Shove It. This episode also shows how Miley and Roxy met. After coming out from a concert, Miley flirts with her new dancer, Jeremy. He asks Hannah out to a movie date, but Roxy goes along with Miley for protection purposes.
Do I even need to tell you what's wrong with that sentence?
Sense of humor. That's gonna help you later in life.
Roxy ends up coming on the date and making it so much worse, and Hannah is furious with her. The next day, Hannah Montana meets the president from Corey in the House and his daughter Sophia, which is a cool nod to that series. And Roxy saves the president from eating spoiled sushi. So the president is like, oh, Robbie, we're going to offer you a job as our bodyguard. But Roxy turns him down because she wants to protect Miley, which honestly, best privilege for Miley, this teenage girl, is to have a security guard. Do you know how many teenage girls need security guards? This would make our culture so much safer.
Who's gonna protect you from boys who are always thinking? I mean, I've had your back ever since we met down at Wig City.
Hannah and Roxy have a fight, causing Roxy to be hurt and walk out, essentially giving up her job and going to the job for the president.
Well, if that's the way you want it, then I'm happy to oblige. Goodbye, Miss Montana.
Miley later realizes that she made a mistake in angering Roxy, and to get Roxy back, Hannah makes up the excuse that she wants to teach Sophie one of her dances. So Hannah gets an idea that she could switch clothes with Lola and leave. While Lola can be Hannah and try to teach Sophie the dance moves, which Sophie ends up seeing through Lily's impressive impersonation of Miley. The president sees Miley and thinks she's a dog whisperer, and then everything gets even more chaotic as Miley has to cure his dog. Oh, so Miley pretends to be a dog whisperer and talk to the dog. She ends up putting her apology to Roxy in the ear of the dog when Roxy enters the room and realizes it's Hannah. Talking as if they were the dog and the president, Miley and Roxy forgive each other, and the president promises to spend more time with his dog due to the conversation. Miley and Roxy then return home, accidentally leaving Lily behind with Sophie. This was actually a crossover between Hannah Montana and Cory in the House. It's also the second That's So Raven and Hannah Montana crossover of the series, being the first is That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana. And this is the second episode in the season where Oliver is actually absent. And neither Miley or Lily are shown as themselves in this episode, for only like one scene where Miley didn't wear any wig in the flashback of the wig shop, but otherwise, like, they're basically their personas the whole time. We also learned in this episode that Roxy critiqued every wig Miley had chosen, and thus was the reason that Hannah went with her current wig.
I hadn't seen that much leather since your grandma got all gussied up for singles bingo.
Oh, Dad. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Now it's time for the Hannah Montana first two-part episode. That's right, things happen in this special that have not been seen on Hannah Montana thus far. Secrets are revealed, hearts are broken, who are subscribing, anything could happen. This is also one of my favorite episodes because I love the Jake Ryan specials. After seeing Jake Ryan for about 4 episodes in the first season, knowing that he's coming back as a character is really exciting. In retrospect, it's cool they have him come back every season in Hannah Montana, but this event in particular kicks off the popularity of him all around. Up until now, Jake has just been this kind of heartthrob with kind of an ego that's storming the middle school hallways, but since then, Miley and Lily have moved on to high school, and he is just a middle school crush. Which means it's time for episodes 9 and 10 of Season 2, Achy, Jakey, Heart, Parts 1 and 2. The title is a reference to Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus, who plays Robbie Ray, the first episode to actually quote one of his songs. Jake finally returns since his episode People Who Use People, and he's more popular than ever with his new movie coming out and a girl he has to quote-unquote date for the public. Kind of seems a little heartless given the fact right before he left, he kissed her, and it was very clear they were going to start a relationship, so the fact that he was gone for like 6 months and just is suddenly expecting things to pick up from where they left off, and maybe just because he's a celebrity he gets permission to do that.
Not just chocolates from the sky.
So Jake falls out of the sky wearing a tuxedo, carrying a rose and chocolates, asking Miley to get back with him. Miley's still mad at Jake for everything listed, and even more irritated as Jake continues to send her lavish gifts to try to win her back. Just coming across a little desperate, Jake. You need to understand the meaning of no. Later that night, Miley sees Jake with his co-star on television in an interview with Brian Winters, where Jake accidentally says Miley's name instead of the girl he's with.
Miley.
Oh, sorry, I meant Marissa.
Wow, Jake, girls love that. Yeah, definitely ask her to prom while you're at it. This changes Miley's mind, and I think this is a great reason. Obviously, like, she has reason to be really angry with him, but I do feel like going on public television and kind of announcing your love for somebody is enough to make up for something like that. Although, I will take away the credit because he didn't do it on purpose. There was nothing intentional about this decision he made. While it really benefited Miley, it still shows Jake's character that he just expects everything to happen for him based on things he says or does. Miley ends up going to the premiere and kisses Jake in front of everyone, and now Miley is as popular as Hannah Montana since the media publicized her relationship with Jake. After that, Jake acts like the perfect boyfriend. He even names a star after her with an official certificate. As he's totally honest with her and opening up to her, he admits that
My real name is Leslie.
Leslie, right, that's good.
something that he's never told anyone ever. And at first, Miley doesn't believe it, but then accepts it's true. She feels guilty about not being open and honest with him about being Hannah Montana, and feels even worse after going to a second grade class to read about honesty and having to answer questions of the children.
Miss Montana, I'm sure you're not suggesting to a class of second graders that lying is ever okay.
No, of course not. It's just that, sometimes you have to.
And messing up more. Miley being put in the speaker scenario is always cringe, and I love that about her. She's just She's just so neurotic sometimes that, like, when she has to use her words to make up for a situation, it always makes it worse. And I love that this is consistent throughout the series. Like, never is it that she has a speech and everything goes perfectly well. I mean, the Hannah Montana movie, things went pretty unrealistically well, but you know what I mean. Meanwhile, Jackson becomes annoyed with Rico because he charges way too much for his merchandise in an extremely less thrilling plot. So Jackson, wanting to finally get back at Rico, starts his own business, which is pretty much a failure.
But maybe the shack doesn't have refrigeration, and the food isn't always edible, and maybe we do have a little bit of a bug problem. But the shack's got character, and like me, it's here to stay.
As Jackson and Oliver crash into each other, they accidentally create a new recipe together called cheese jerky, and they start a new business selling it. Their creation is incredibly popular, which actually does inevitably get back Rico. At the end of part 1 of this episode, we finally end on Miley revealing to Jake that she is Hannah Montana and she cannot keep lying to him. And I love that they stop us right before we could see his reaction, because when I was a teenager, this really shocked me, as Hannah Montana only revealed her secret twice, and it was the very beginning of the series. I did not expect her to do it again. But when I saw the promo for this show and knew that this was coming, I had to watch it, and was very upset when I knew that the cliffhangers happened right before his response. So I had to wait for his response for like a week.
Leslie!
Just give me a second, okay?
Or I forget however long it took for this episode to come out. I remember this is like the perfect way to set up a 2-part episode. Having like a huge reveal like this, obviously you can't just do that in a single episode. The airing of the second half of Achy, Jakey, Heart coincided with the release of Miley Cyrus's Hannah Montana 2 Meet Miley Cyrus, which is a phenomenal album that I've been listening to this week to prepare for this video. It was the top-selling record for that week in general. Parts 1 and 2 were the #1 and 2 best-selling TV shows on iTunes in July 2007, which is crazy because I didn't even realize we were buying TV at that time. The episode was the second highest rated program for its week, behind the premiere of the show The Closer. It was also the second highest rating ever for up until that point for a Disney Channel original series. They have a funny reference to Dancing with the Stars, in which Billy Ray Cyrus was actually in, and they call it Reading with the Stars in the 2nd grade classroom. When Oliver complains about Jackson's cheese getting in his beef jerky, he said it's not
kosher. Oh, Detective Schwartz is gonna go all my sugar now.
And it's revealed that Oliver is Jewish in this moment. So then we move on to part 2 of this fun special. So after Miley reveals her secret, she and Jake share a kiss for only the paparazzi to split the two. I think Jake's reaction is kind of neutral to scared. If I were Miley, I'd be extremely concerned after seeing his reaction, although it's not as bad as Oliver's, which he will note later. Although Jake and Miley do grow closer and go on a date to the movies, but have no privacy between themselves and all of their fans. Jake and Miley leave the movie early and go back to Miley's house and are about to make out when they're interrupted by Miley's father. Whenever Jake and Miley go out in public, Ryan's fans flock around them, and Miley starts to become a lot more uncomfortable, especially as Jake starts to use the popularity to his benefit.
Why don't I get us some drinks?
Okay.
Wow, I'm kind of thirsty. You want water, fruit juice, or iced tea?
Miley, who has groomed herself to not let the spotlight influence her, this really hits home when it comes to relationships in early high school versus late middle school. The idea of like finally opening up to somebody for the first time, you know, like that usually happens in dating and when you first like somebody. And in this scenario, the idea that Hannah Montana is a pop star and there actually is huge stakes mimics what a teenager would feel at that age. The kind of emotional weight you get or are given when you put it on somebody else in your life really changes you and the person you've told it to. You could tell that Jake seems to be shifting as a person as he struggles with the hard fact that the things he's known so far in his life may not be morally okay.
Now I'm just a regular guy. I'm a nobody, like Oliver. Brilliant.
Hey! Miley has to deal with the fact that she's actively chosen the life of not being popular and that she can't just blame Jake for her own decision. Jake is really insecure that he can't be at the level Miley has been as Hannah Montana and struggles to fit in as a normal person, although he's in pretty big denial about it.
Hannah Montana's a star too, but underneath Hannah is is a real person, and underneath Jake is...
More Jake?
And Miley gets even more turned off to his entire personality, even realizing she might have to break up with him, to which Lily and Oliver confirm. There's nothing more devastating than being in a relationship and feeling like you may not be enough for the other person, or you guys may be drifting apart, especially after you've opened up to each other. I feel like most teenagers in this day and age do repress it a lot more, but seeing Miley go through it and make the right decision to actually act on her feelings and rationalize them so quickly is a really good role model situation. Speaking of how mature she is, she doesn't really want to break up with him, so she decides to behave inappropriately wearing a giant swan dress, which, animal lovers, please close your eyes.
But first I gotta... Oh, yeah. That feels nice.
And flaunts her excessive armpit hair to the public to embarrass Jake, all in the hopes that he would break up with her. Because of how much of a diva Jake Ryan portrays himself to be, Miley is reasonably concerned that if she is to displease him or say something negative, that he will go around and tell everybody she's Hannah Montana.
We can get through this. You'll learn to not be jealous, just like I learned to be a normal guy.
Oh, sweet niblets. You don't know what a normal guy is.
And this is so culturally relevant, especially in the time where teenagers do kind of take out spite on each other a lot more than they used to. People cancel each other, people make up rumors about each other. When you're young and you're hurt, you tend to take it out on the person that was nearby. And I feel like that's really fair for Miley to be worried about that. So Jake inevitably approaches her and says, "What, you think I'm going to tell your secret? Maybe I will." Which is exactly how a teenage boy would approach this situation. I love how honest it is, and that it's not just an immediate payoff that he's like, "Of course I would never do that." They actually take time to reflect on. And in the end, Miley has a really long night, wondering what Jake could possibly do to retaliate from her big publicity stunt. And if I were Miley, I would not sleep at all that night. I would be terrified. Of course, Jake would do something. You know, the compatibility they once had and having it turn really dark is a really sad note. Meanwhile, Rico tries to make another attempt to steal the cheese jerky recipe and fails, and Jackson and Oliver are still making tons of money. However, they have not factored the cost of ingredients and supplies, and once they've covered all the costs, Jackson realizes that he's only made $1. So, realizing he's better off working with Rico, he actually just gets rid of the stand and just pretends it never happened.
I work here.
But I fired you.
No, you didn't.
Sure I did. And then you opened that shack.
What shack?
Gaslighting Rico into thinking none of this existed, which is kind of funny to see him go crazy, but definitely brought gaslighting into our culture in a casual way. In the end, Jake sends Miley a box with a rose inside and a note attached, and on the note, Jake wrote that Miley's words were true, and he will try to become a normal person before even going out with her again, and that he still cares about her, which I think is very admirable, especially for a boy at that age.
Let's hope it's not another actor.
He also confirms that he will not disclose her secret and signs the note as Leslie, not Jake, to show his commitment to his growth. Wow, this episode was so fun to watch again, and it really brought back memories and solidified Hannah Montana's excellent storytelling. This show meant so much to me, and I could see that it was very maturely written and played out, and of course, I related to it, and I feel for the characters. Even though me and them are all much older now, I could feel myself being transformed back to that time and feeling the emotional weight what both Jake and Miley have been going through. Sleepwalk This Way, based on Walk This Way by Aerosmith. So Robbie Ray has written a new song for Hannah, and Miley's obviously eager to hear it, but Robbie insists on only playing his new songs on a prized guitar, which, okay, a little bougie, Robbie Ray. Some of us can afford that. Unfortunately, it's being cleaned and won't be ready until next week. So, impatient to wait, Miley actually sneaks a peek in her dad's jacket and discovers what she believes is the song, a ridiculously awful tune called Gangnam Style. No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine if that was it? Nah, but seriously. So it's about bunnies stealing money, and Miley is horrified by the lyrics, but she can't bring herself to tell her dad, fearing that she'll have to hurt his feelings anyway.
Really?
What
You wrote a song? Who knew? Interesting. Easter. Easter Island. We're studying it at school. Big statues. Nobody knows how they got there.
So Miley's bottled up honesty starts to affect her, causing her to sleepwalk and blurt out embarrassing truths. Oh my god, can you guys imagine?
Love the new look, Toots. Oh, sweet niblets.
So during science class, she sleepwalks again, telling her least favorite teacher, Mrs. Kunkel, that she doesn't like her clothes and thinks she's ugly, which, Miley, we're not supposed to be truthful in school.
House tonight. Hey, Miley, you can... Miley?
Just as Miley is about to accidentally reveal her secret identity, Lily and Oliver manage to wake her up. Despite this, Miley is sent to the principal's office anyway. Later, Robbie overhears telling Jackson that the song is the worst he's ever written, leaving him feeling hurt. But in the end, Robbie eventually reveals that the bunny song was actually something Miley wrote herself when she was 5. Oh, Miley, not cool. He kept it around to inspire him and give him a laugh during his creative slumps. His real song, Bigger Than Us, turns out to be a hit, which is weird because it's kind of one of the cheesier songs on the album. Not a fan. And Miley's worry over her hurting his feeling fades.
Loving it already.
You ain't even heard it, son.
Sure I have. In here.
And meanwhile, Jackson, who worried that Miley's honesty might cost him his party plans, is thrilled when Robbie allows the party to happen. It's a success, but the house is actually left in chaos.
I just called the maid service.
Well, thanks, Dad. You know, that is one of the many reasons why you're still my hero, my role model, my...
Robbie, in a twist, hires a maid service, only for Jackson's phone to ring, revealing he's the one who will be cleaning up. Dude, but like he deserved that. That's normal. Like you were supposed to do that, Jackson. Come on. I can't get over the fact that Jason Earls is like 30 in this. He definitely can portray himself as an 18-year-old. Then we have When You Wish You Were a Star. This is the one that I was talking about, was in the Wish a Miss special on Disney Channel. So after performing a concert as Hannah Montana, Miley is visited by Jesse McCartney.
Listen, tonight I am the fan. You did a great job. And you are? Nice to meet you. Yeep.
Who asks her out? An unfair power dynamic, Jesse. You can't just ask somebody out. She's thrilled, but she has to decline because a science project with her best friend Lily. So she has to decline due to a science project with her best friend Lily and her busy school schedule. Which, come on.
This double life is so hard.
Frustrated by balancing schoolwork and her Hannah Montana life, Lily and Miley see a shooting star and each make a wish. Lily for an A on their project, and Miley to be Hannah Montana full-time. Jeez, Lily, you didn't want anything else? Like, anything? Miley wakes up to discover that her wish has come true. She's now permanently Hannah Montana, and her wig transformed into her real hair, which could definitely be the perfect ad for a hair salon. An angel resembling her bodyguard, Roxy, who's awesome, appears, explaining that Miley's wish is now a reality.
The twinkly lights, the leather couches, and look at that awesome chandelier. Madonna has one just like it.
Not anymore.
Initially, Miley loves her new life, complete with luxury, fame, and freedom to date Jesse McCartney. However, the angel shows her how her family and friends have been affected by her permanent superstar status, and she reveals things aren't as great as they seem.
Sort of dealing with something right now, so.
You're so cute when you're dealing with something right now.
Her initial choice to be Hannah Montana was the right call, especially with Jackson leaving home, disliking her being Hannah Montana.
Oh, I got you!
And he's homeless. Jackson is literally homeless. Meanwhile, Oliver and Rico turned her fame into a money-making scheme, and Lily, no longer her friend, has become popular by associating with the shallow Amber and Ashley. Horrified by the changes, Miley decides she wants to be Miley again. Spoiler alert. That is such an obvious trope. She does a brunette wig and tries to reconnect with Lily, which is actually kind of depressing. Can you imagine leaving your identity behind and trying to turn into your older self? That's like me trying to put on a 6th grade wig and pretend I'm in 6th grade again. I don't want to relive that. Now popular and unrecognizable, Lily rejects Miley.
Does everybody know that you have a birthmark shaped like a poodle on your butt?
Realizing the impact of her wish, Miley sees her dad's new wife and realizes she's only there for his money, banning their family traditions. Desperate, Miley vents her frustrations at home, throwing a pillow at her Hannah memorabilia. She gets a really intimate conversation with Jackson on the roof, which is actually really sweet.
It's just us, you don't have to do the voice.
What voice? Right, sometimes I forget.
And Miley laments the wish that she made. Jackson wishes he could see the world where Miley wasn't Hannah just as the shooting star appears. Miley calls the angel, pointing out that Jackson's wish should count.
Please?
Suddenly, as Miley pulls her hair, the wig slips off and she's Miley again. The angel reappears, congratulating her on finding the loophole. Miley returns to her regular life, grateful for her family, friends, and the best of both worlds. The episode concludes with Oliver, Rico, and Jesse rapping on the beach. Oh my god, you got him as a cameo, and you're having him rap on the beach.
Peace out.
This show is so sweet because the moment she has with Jackson is probably the most genuine moments in the entire series. Let's look at it for a second.
Welcome home.
Ooh, didn't you hear me? I'm not staying.
But Jackson, you have to. I want at least some of my old life back.
Like, there's just something so deep about a brother and sister reconnecting, about the girl's identity issues. Like, that's a big, important thing. Oh, the next episode, we have trouble. I Want You to Want Me to Go to Florida. The original title is a reference to the Cheap Trick song, I Want You to Want Me, Season 2, Episode 13. So this is the infamous episode introducing Selena Gomez's character, Alex Russo. I mean, you know what I mean, Michaela.
Well, I think there's enough room in the music world for both of us, right, Michaela?
Absolutely, positively.
Adorable.
The episode opens with Hannah Montana meeting her rival, Michaela, on The Real Deal talk show. Despite acting friendly on camera, Michaela is secretly envious of Hannah and becomes Miley's nemesis.
Your voice is stingy, your music is stupid, your outfits make me want to puke on them, but it looks like somebody already did. Okay.
Michaela's teasing only intensifies as they're both booked for the same Florida benefit concert, pushing Miley to give her best performance to prove her talent. But things get complicated when Miley's dad, Robbie Wright, injures his back in Jackson's new workout machine.
Set it for my height and weight. Matter of fact, crank it up to Aunt Pearl. I'd like to see the rubber band toy that can handle Robbie Wright!
And by the way, who let him buy that? Aren't you 18? And is reluctant to let her go to Florida alone. Concerned for her safety, Robbie insists she's too young to travel by herself, which is so frickin' fair. Can you imagine a 16-year-old going across the country? Despite Miley's assurances that Roxy, her bodyguard, will be with her, she still isn't allowed to go. Which, that would make you a terrible father, Robbie, if you let your 16-year-old daughter go on a plane, which I really hope you didn't do in real life. I know your relationship's strained, but please, I hope you're a good dad.
Does this mean I'm your favorite kid now? I'll take that as a yes.
Their argument escalates, leaving Miley frustrated and determined to prove that she still can do it. Feeling taunted by Michaela's call mocking her canceled concert performance, Miley does not want to give up. She leaves a note for Robbie Wright saying that she's going to Florida with Roxy, even if it means facing the consequences. Dang, Miley's running away from home. This is insane, this episode.
Come on, fly boy, I can walk to Florida quicker than this, come on!
Sweetheart, could you keep it down? Someone just complained.
Who?
Me. Now zip it.
She boards the plane, but just before takeoff, Robbie and Jackson board the plane as well.
Hey, this bathroom's occupied.
Unfortunately, the plane doors close, and once they get Hannah, they actually can't get off until they're in Denver. Obviously, Billy Ray is pretty peeved off, which, oh my god, if I accidentally got my parents on a flight to Denver, can you imagine? That would be the most torturous plane ride of my life. That would be my personal, you know. During the flight, Robbie and Jackson have a heart-to-heart, and Jackson helping Robbie realize that his strictness may have pushed Miley too far. Aw, Jackson actually has a really sweet moment.
Oh yeah, I can be deep.
Meanwhile, Roxy assures Miley that Robbie's overprotectiveness comes from his deep love from her. In a touching moment, Robbie shows her the new song, Ready, Set, Don't Go, which we don't really hear outside of this. Expressing his struggle to let Miley grow up, he finally agrees to let her go to Florida.
Oh no, shrimp and cookies bad combo.
It's okay.
Miley performs in Florida successfully, blowing Michaela off the stage, though the concert itself is left off screen. Instead of punishment, Robbie calls Miley after the concert, congratulating her, and then humorously ending their call with, "You blew Michaela off the stage." Meanwhile, Jackson's workout machine becomes a comedic side plot throughout the whole episode. Rico tries it out. Whoa! This episode was the first appearance of Michaela and her manager which are super funny, ongoing characters. And then we got to see If Cupid Had a Heart, which honestly should have been on the Hannah Montana 2 album, but it's just cute just to see. It's actually sung by Julie Griffin, not even Selena Gomez, which, did you know that? Because I didn't until I said that. Oof. Now this episode got lost to time. Everybody was best friend fighting. Season 2, episode 14. The title is a reference to the song Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas, which includes the line, "Everybody was Kung Fu fighting," which I love that song, guys. Give it a listen. This is gonna be, what if this was on the Hannah Montana 2 album? No, that would be cool. That would be too cool. I love an Oliver episode, and in this episode, Oliver feels left out because he's never invited backstage to any Hannah Montana concerts, prompting Miley to invite him backstage for the next show. However, Lily is not thrilled about sharing her special privileges with Oliver and feels jealous.
I know this is kind of our special thing. You might be kind of jealous. But
Jealous? I am not.
Miley's attempt to include both of them actually backfires further when she has to choose between Lily and Oliver to join her at the celebrity tennis tournament. She's invited to play with a handsome guy named Guillermo Montoya, charming tennis star, but has only one extra ticket, sparking a fierce rivalry between Lily and Oliver.
Real subtle. Buttering her up with cake with hearts. Pathetic. Hey, Miley, I made you a shirt.
To solve the problem, Miley gets an extra ticket from Rico, allowing both friends to attend the tournament. However, the plan to keep the peace fails as Lily and Oliver actually bicker constantly during the game.
Hello? Switch seats with me.
You're pathetic.
Switch seats with me. Switch seats with me. Switch seats with me.
In the chaotic turn of events, Oliver's hand gets stuck in a woman's hair. This is the rudest thing I've ever seen. Can you imagine two teenagers at a tennis tournament just arguing and then sticking their hands in your hair? Ugh. And then it ends up in Miley's face, blocking her vision just as she's about to make a crucial move. And this guy's a jerk. Hannah, you should honestly purposely lose because Guillermo Montoya is a real jerk. He only cares about winning.
Cost me this match. I will go home tonight, dress up like you, and hit myself in the face.
you have got some serious issues, my friend.
You don't need that. In the He Could Be the One special, this guy will not be in it. Can you imagine though? After realizing the mess they've caused, Lily and Oliver apologize to each other and agree to stop fighting. Miley's still trapped in the net, and she playfully tells them to focus on getting her out. Meanwhile, in the subplot, Jackson hires a psychic, played by Dancing with the Stars dancer Karina Smirnoff, to convince Rico he's been cursed.
Until you learn to be nice, you are cursed.
For being mean, and he must be nice to break it. Leads to hilarious moments of Rico trying to do this. Eventually, we find out that Jackson did this all along, and these guys have no lives outside of hunting each other.
Somehow we found out, now he's trying to get back at me. Steph!
Oh, Jackson.
All right, who told you?
Actually, you did, just now.
And can I just say, Oliver deserves this. I feel like rightfully so, as a boy growing up with female friends, it sucks to feel left out. And I feel like I definitely empathize with him in this episode. I think he's being a little bit of a baby on purpose, but I don't know, I'm not gonna judge him. I definitely feel like I would have done the same. The birth of Mike Stanley happens in this episode where...
What is that beard made of anyway? Armpit hair?
You said nobody could tell.
Oliver friggin' the only name he could come up with.
Mike, stand. Mike, stand. Lee.
And I'm over it. That's like way worse than Lily's. Now in Song Sung Bad, Lily decides to record a song as a heartfelt gift for her mom's birthday. The song is a reference to Neil Diamond's Song Sung Blue.
To really make this special, you're gonna have to record the song.
But I don't have a voice like yours.
You'll be surprised what you can sound like in a professional studio.
I haven't felt this queasy since my grandpa dragged me into that shirts and skins b-ball game at the senior center.
Unfortunately, Lily is a terrible singer, but Miley, wanting to help her best friend, secretly edits the recording to make it sound beautiful.
Daddy called it Extreme Mixover. Lily Edition.
When Lily hears the edited version, she's thrilled and believes she has an amazing singing voice. Feeling bold, she decides to sign up to compete against her rival Amber in the school's karaoke night. This is like a common trope in Hannah Montana where one of the girls is pressuring each other to act a certain way, and it's always Miley toward Lily. Like there was the episode where she liked Lucas and made her change to a skater girl. Then there's the episode where Lily told her not to be embarrassed of wearing glasses, but then she got the zit.
I mean, there's always room for improvement.
Miley is not a good friend at this point. When Miley realizes Lily's in over her head, she confesses the truth and shows Lily the unedited version of the song.
What did you do to my voice?
On this CD, nothing.
Ouch! Can you imagine? Rather than drop out, the two come up with a plan. Lily will lip sync and Miley will sing from backstage to make it sound flawless. Wow, never seen this done on TV before. Not on Drake and Josh. Meanwhile, in the subplot, Jackson deals with Sarah, a friend of Miley and Lily's, who mistakenly thinks he has a crush on her. Yeah, she was in the first season having a relationship with Oliver and the Flower Baby, and I guess she was too much of a heartthrob to stay in that season, so she's back, and now she's bugging Jackson. But the two have really good chemistry together, it's fun to watch them. So this was overall a really fun episode.
Who could possibly follow Amber?
Ooh, I believe the gauntlet has been thrown down!
During the performance, however, Miley accidentally releases a spider that crawls up her arm, causing her to scream and throw off the performance.
What I said, you heard. Now I got you spinning.
Despite the mishap, Miley and Lily actually laugh it off, and Lily learns to embrace her limitations. Which, what about you, Miley? Miley needs to learn to be nice to people. Jesus, you're the one that needs growth, not Lily. What, she's just supposed to get over the fact she's a bad singer? I mean, I don't know. The recording Lily gives her mom features Emily Osment's actual singing voice, even though her character Lily can't sing. Emily Osment definitely can. Do you guys remember that song, I Don't Think About It? And apparently Miley has a real-life fear of spiders, which is humorously incorporated into the episode. I wish I was there in the writing room for that. The next episode is Me, Mr. Jonas, and Mr. Jonas, and Mr. Jonas. The episode is a play on the title Me and Mrs. Jones by Billy Paul. This is actually one of the highest viewed episodes of the entire series, and I just had to mention that because, of course, the Jonas Brothers. I forgot about this until I remembered the promos when it was coming out. This aired exactly after High School Musical 2 and right before Phineas and Ferb aired for the first time.
Hannah Montana.
So in this episode, Miley and her dad, Robbie Wright, prepare to record new songs. Miley's eager to get to the big shoe sale with Lily. Plans take a surprising turn when they encounter Nick, Joe, and Kevin Jonas? Excited to meet them, Miley's enthusiasm fades when the Jonas Brothers recognize Robbie as the legendary songwriter Robbie Ray.
I know! Nobody's Perfect is genius.
I like the cute romantic one.
They ask him to write a song for them, and despite Miley's reluctance, Robbie agrees. Let's take a minute to notice this. So, in Wish Gonna Miss, it's confirmed that they're all in the same universe, and That's a Sweet Life of Hannah Montana gives me the impression that all of the Disney shows are technically in their own universe. Although, if that is the case, then how come they're not connected to the show Jonas? If it was connected to the show Jonas, then the boys should be already really famous singers, but since they're playing themselves, why is Hannah addressing them? Or, because this is just so confusing. I don't know how these universe things work with channels. Do the showrunners talk to each other? Do they hide stuff? Or does the network get them together and ask them to come up with something? I don't know. I just can't imagine what goes on. But they can't not address it.
You said you were working.
Well, it turns out I was. Listen to this. Anywhere we go, anywhere we are, everybody know.
They ask Robbie Wright to write a song for him, and Miley is a little bit jealous of the attention, and then Robbie actually agrees. Meanwhile, Jackson attempts to break the pogo jumping world record for $5,000. Jeez, are you guys running out of ideas? It's the second season. I don't know how this has to do with his character. After hours of jumping, he desperately needs to use the bathroom and negotiates with Rico to help him for half the prize money. Unbeknownst to him, he broke the record hours earlier. Rico just tortured him. Dang, Rico, that's cold. But also a great negotiation. How did he learn how to be a businessman? Feeling left out and jealous of the bromance, Miley tries to act more guyish to win back her dad's attention, and her attempts only seem immature, and Robbie gets a little peeved. Lily and Miley end up dressing up as Milo and Otis, a pretend boy band, to try to convince the Jonas Brothers that Robbie stole their song.
We got the party with us!
That's our song, isn't it? I liked it.
And making his dad look bad, which, oh my god, couldn't that ruin his entire reputation in the music industry?
You? I shared my nostrils with that guy.
I don't even want to see this guy again. I'm out.
Robbie catches up on Miley's scheme and realizes that she's feeling neglected. Miley apologizes to the Jonas Brothers, explaining that her prank was just a joke, and they believe it because they're dumb. So I guess this is connecting to the Jonas show. Miley opens up to Robbie about her jealousy and fear that she'd lose time with him. He reassures her he'll always love her and love writing songs with her together.
Otis!
The episode concludes with the performance of We Got the Party by Hannah Montana, and the Jonas Brothers start recording in it with them. And it ends on the beach in a fun little music video, and Robbie accidentally fires marshmallow guns at a choir, and then finds himself targeted by the Jonas Brothers marshmallow attack.
And we always keep our promises.
Duck and cover, Daddy. It's the return of the Jonai.
It's a cute episode because we have another Miley and Dad episode, like the I Want to Go to Florida one is a really good precursor to this one. I like that we're having a lot more time with Miley and her dad, and it seems like a lot of the themes that worked in season 1 are really working again this time, but since the characters are getting to know each other so well, there's a lot more depth to their emotions. And I can't imagine how the actors are feeling in these moments. Like, I wonder how their personal lives coincide with the emotions of their characters, because it is really sweet to see Miley and Billy Ray authentically reaching out to each other as an actual father and daughter. Although now we hear like rumors about them not getting along, it really is nice to see this moment in time.